Humans are social creatures. We crave connection and interaction through relationships. In a primer on communication studies, chapter 7, it establishes that although there are many different types of relationships, there are two main classifications: personal and social. The formation of these relationships is complex. It's not just meeting and talking to new people. It begins much deeper than that with three main aspects: genetic, psychological, and physiological. Each of these contributing factors builds upon the last to create a multifaceted effort to create potential connections with others. Now, I'm not a geneticist, a psychologist, or a physiologist, yet I'm so qualified to speak on the matter due to the human experience. Our genes dictate who we are, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. That's to say that our personalities and social behaviors are due to our genetics. Matt Ridley, author of Genome, states, "Upbringing matters a good deal, but intrinsic personality plays just as big of a role. Therefore, when we form relationships, it is around social constructs that are products of our genetics." Ridley's summarization of the intertwining of genetics and socialization states, "Social behavior is not some external series of events that takes our minds and bodies by surprise. It is an intimate part of our makeup, and our genes are programmed not only to produce social behavior, but to respond to it as well." This theory adequately conveys how instinctual socialization truly is. We can now move on to understanding how we view ourselves as communicators. There is a direct correlation between our personality and our communicator image. So how do we know what type of personality we have? Well, Alfred Adler, a prominent psychotherapist, stated, "We do not consider human beings as types because every person has an individual style of life. If we speak of types, therefore, it is only as a conceptual device to make more understandable the similarities of individuals. Therefore, when we do choose to classify our personalities, it should be done on a broad spectrum between introversion and extroversion." Introverts process experiences internally and have a more negative connotation of their communicator image, whereas extroverts process experiences externally and have a more positive communicator image. Our communicator image differs between the two personality types on the spectrum. In a study conducted by Susan Oft and Donald Lafredo, they state that this finding supports the defined view of an introvert's constant focus on the inner world of ideas and concepts, and that extrovert's attention to the objects and people of the environment. Therefore, our personality dictates the communicator image. So, the more confidence we have in our communicator image, the more we will socially engage with others, in turn creating more potential for the formation of future relationships. However, not all communication is verbal. Our book states that although an individual's proficiency at evaluating others involves a number of factors, one important component is the degree to which he or she can accurately judge or decode the affective state of another based on facial expressions, gestures, and other nonverbal behaviors. The art of perception is powerful and, more importantly, helpful when laying the groundwork for relationships. The more we engage this type of nonverbal communication, the better we can read others and subsequently assess the feasibility of forming a relationship with them. We have now come full circle. We have an understanding of the intricate, albeit subconscious, process of laying the foundation for a relationship. It starts with our genetics, which directly influence the psychological aspect of understanding our communicator image and how it relates to our personality. And it then contributes to our recognition and interpretation of nonverbal communication. These three aspects universally apply to the formation of relationships, both personal and social. Therefore, when we assess our communicator image, it allows us to become more genuine communicators as we have an understanding of our personality and how it relates to how we communicate. And that means that we will have a greater potential for stronger, more meaningful relationships to be formed in the future.